Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn about inner hearing. Inner hearing is like one day you wake up in the morning and you just feel sad, like from nowhere. You just feel like you're so sad, you've not even started the day, but you feel like you don't have the energy to move on and go on your work. It means you have some emotional woods inside you that once you wake up in the morning, you either feel like you don't want to go anywhere, you just want to stay in the house, you don't want to interact with the people, you don't have the stamina to move out and do some work. You feel like, I just want to sleep. I don't want to interact with other people who are maybe my workmates, maybe where I do my business. I don't have the energy to go there. Other times you feel like I'm useless, I'm nobody. I can't amount to anything. Regardless of what I try, it does not work. You feel like nobody appreciates me. Nobody appreciates my effort. I've tried to be good to people, but they don't give back to me the same goodness that I've given them. You feel like you're not equal to any task. Regardless of what you try to do, regardless of what you do, you feel worthless. You could have even gotten some great achievement that people desire to have them, but when they tell you, wow, you've done so well, you say, that is nothing. It's nothing. And by then somebody is willing to get what you have, but you see, they tell you, congratulations, you have a beautiful house. Oh yeah, just this house, this is just nothing. You have a beautiful car. Someone tells you, wow, your car is beautiful. You feel like, no, hii tu ni kagari tu. You don't feel like you can appreciate life. You don't feel like you have life in you. Everything seems so negative in your life that you don't feel like you are living. Other time you wake up and you feel shame. When you are in a group of people, you cannot be able to express yourself. Even if you have a valid point, you feel like if I talk about it, they might judge me negatively. If I talk about it, it might not be that good. People might judge me negatively, so you keep your point. You might be in a meeting, they need you to contribute, but you fail to contribute because you fear that your contribution might not be enough, or it might not make sense. And in the real sense, that is the answer to the solution to the problem. It's the solution to the problem that they are looking for. But because of the emotional woods that you have, you feel like you're worthless, you're not good enough. When it continue on for long, it develops into a panic. You realize that you are panicking. Sometimes you're at home, you're wondering, where are my children? Are they okay? Is my business going to go down? What will happen if Corona continue? What will happen if things do not work well? You keep on panicking over something. Sometimes you just wake up with what we call psychologically panic attacks. Just out of nowhere, you feel panic. You are panicking every day, meaning that psychologically there is something that is not okay. These are the symptoms that I'm giving, because if physically you're not okay, you automatically know I'm having a headache and you go for medication or you go to the doctor. If your stomach is having a problem, you also do the same. You either go for something to ease the problem, or if it continues, you seek for medical help. Same way with your stomach. If you're hungry, you automatically go looking for food and you feed that need. What about your emotional need? When you feel worthlessness, when you feel shame of yourself, when you feel those panic attacks, when you feel rage, you're always bitter about something or somebody. Even if that person you are with is not the one who have made you angry, you are still bitter about them. What about when you feel you have deep sorrow? This sorrow that is not going away. As much as you're progressing on in life, there is that deep sorrow that is seated inside you. There is sadness. And if it proceeds for long, it becomes a depression. These are signs that you're having an emotional woods. These emotional woods are caused by several factors. Number one of the factor that cause emotional woods is when you go through a heartbreak. You're in a relationship, you have invested a lot of emotions in that relationship, you have invested financially, you have invested socially into that relationship, and then it just break. It hurt you. And then you feel like, no, maybe it broke because I had a mistake, because I'm not good enough, or because there is something I could have done to maintain it. You hate yourself. You feel shame about yourself. You went through a divorce, and you feel like divorce is written on your forehead. Every time you are moving around, you think people are thinking you are divorced, or you are separated, or you have introduced that person to your family members, and you're wondering, what will I tell them now? So you go through sense of loneliness, and you feel worthless because of that situation that you are going through. Other time is you have trusted somebody and that person betrayed you. You have put hope in them, you have shared with them your deep secret, and then they went and put them in social media. Especially nowadays, social media is the one which is killing people. It's causing a lot of emotional breakdown because you shared that deep secret with that friend that you trusted, and then he went and put it in the social media. Others, you trusted somebody, you could do business together, wakakuruka, and then they went away with the money, they went away with the business, all you are saving, and then you are left with nothing. And that way you become stressed, you become lonely, you become depressed because you don't know what to do. Other times, emotional hurting and emotional wounds are caused by loss. You lose a loved one, someone that you loved dearly. It could be a parent, it could be a significant other like your husband or wife, or a child, or a close relative that you trusted so much, someone that you had hope in, and then the person just died, and you had prayed that they would live. You've done everything that you could have done, and then they passed away when they meant a lot to you. So there is that sadness that comes with grief. There is that mourning period that comes because of that loss. And especially if it's the parent to young children, that loss tends to remain for some years when they realize that they don't have a parent. So it causes an emotional wound that if it's not dealt with, it will continue to hurt them in their life. And other times, it is the past issues that you have gone through. Maybe your teacher said you are nothing. Your colleague said you will amount to nothing. Your mother said you'll never make it in life. You always be poor. There are people who talk bad thing about you when you are young. There are people who did not trust in your ability. There are people who limited you. Your pastor said that you are nothing. You are nobody. All those things that you went through. Other things, they are rape. You are raped when you are young. Other people is like you are in a family which had emotional issues. Your father and mother kept on fighting. There was separation. There was divorce in the family when you're young. If that thing was just suppressed and it was not handled, it keep on bringing out anger. It keeps on bringing bitterness. It keep on screaming sadness. Whenever those emotions are replayed in our mind, they ensure that the emotional wound does not heal whenever it is replayed in our mind. And currently, we are also having other factors like loss of income. We have loss of job. We have loss of businesses, especially during this pandemic period. So many people, so many of us, so many people have lost the source of income. So many of them are working at home. And this thing is bringing a lot of stress to families. And they are moving on to cause emotional wounds because some of them have started business and then they were told to close down when they were just starting, and they have invested all their income on them. So all those things combined, they cause emotional pain. And if that pain is not dealt with instantly, it will become a wound that keeps on breeding internally, that keeps on recurring again and again and again, and we don't know how to handle the situation. So what should you do when you find yourself faced in those situations? And in one way or the other, one of us or all of us must have gone through one of those things that I've mentioned up there. You might have lost a loved one. Maybe you lost an income. You've been betrayed by a loved one. You have lost a relationship. Or there are some young age issues that you are still dealing with up to now, that the behavior is being portrayed when you are already mature. So how do you identify that I have an emotional wound? How do you know that this is what is hurting me? Number one, there is inner rawness inside you. Whenever someone do something wrong for you, you automatically react, or whoever wronged you. If you see they are something that looks like what they have, you are bitter. If you meet them on the street, you wish they are dead. If there is anything that relates to that situation, you are always mad about it, regardless of how many years. It means you are low and you are hurting. Another thing is you are easily irritable. Something so small, something minor, it is irritating you. It is something that is not the cause of hurt, but whenever somebody did something similar to that one, you are highly irritated. If you are in a matatu and a makaga tells you to move, you are irritated. You start insulting them. If the child just spoil milk on you, you just slap them. the problem is not the child. Inside you, you are very, very irritated, and you're not tolerant to anything. You're not able to tolerate even a single thing. And then another thing is that it becomes so hard for you to forgive. You're not able to forgive yourself. You're not able to forgive others because you're hurting. Whatever someone did to you, and another one repeat the same thing, you cannot be able to forgive. And what you do most, people tend to retaliate. They want to revenge. They say they either pray to God to revenge, or others will live with the bitterness that when I become big or when I have an opportunity, I'm going to revenge because I'm not able to forgive. If you are looking for a revenge, just know that you have emotional wound that it has not been dealt with, and it kills, because revenge is dangerous. And then other time, you find that especially in cases of loss of a loved one, people become angry about God. You are so angry about God that God could have prevented this. I prayed, I fasted, I asked people to pray for that situation. This was your servant. This was my only child. This was my breadwinner. This situation, God, I really committed this thing to you. I trusted you, and you tell us to trust you, and you shall heal our people. We trusted you over healing of this person, and yet they went away. So you are so bitter about God. You're not able to forgive God. You're not able to let go and tell God everything works out for good because you love us. So you feel a lot of anger towards God. Another thing is that if you are the one who did an action that caused shame or caused bitterness, you don't forgive yourself. You're not able to forgive yourself. You're always feeling ashamed of yourself. You hate yourself. Why did I do that? What I could have done things in a different way. Maybe things could have happened this way. I'm so stupid. I'm not wise enough. I'm not able to control my behavior. I'm not good enough. You have that self-hate within yourself because of the emotional wound that you have. And that way translates that you are easily irritated. You are easily frustrated. You're not able to cheer yourself up. You're not able to celebrate yourself, even in a small milestone that you do. You're not able to celebrate yourself fully. You're not able to pat your back and say, yay, I've actually done this, and it's actually good. So, as we proceed on, there is another one that if it happened when you're young, and especially to young people, you find that they develop what you call a defiance behavior. They are always on the wrong side. In school, every day, teacher is reporting, he beat someone, he broke something, he ran away from school. And it's not that they are not bright students, but they are just behaving out what they are acting out what is happening inside them. They become so defiant. If it's a husband, you realize that he was not drinking, he starts drinking. He starts spending time outside. He's not becoming responsible. If they are teenagers, you realize that they are into drugs. They are into stealing, and it's not that they are not supported, but they just steal. It's just because they are hurting and they are trying to express themselves. In other cases, you find that people become perfection, especially if it was a relationship that hurt you. You will be so perfect that you don't want to get into any relationship. Any small red flag, you're gone, because you feel like if I don't select carefully, I might end up being hurt again and again. And finally, we have feeling of hopelessness. If you feel like you don't have a life, you feel like you don't have a tomorrow, you feel like you don't have the strength to face tomorrow, it means there is something inside you that is hurting and you need help. So how do you heal? How do you heal internally? How do you realize, after you've realized that you have an issue, which are the steps to take to heal internally or to heal those emotional wounds? Number one, be honest about yourself. The way you are honest to tell someone, I'm having a headache, I'm having a stomach ache, my arm is paining. Be honest with your emotion. Don't fear to be judged. Just be honest to yourself and say, for sure, I'm not okay. There is something which is hurting me. I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I lost my parent. I'm so sad that things did not work the way I expected. I'm so sad that somebody hurt me. Be honest. Don't say that one happened, it's gone. No. Just search yourself and be sure that, yes, something is not okay with me. Just like the way you go to the doctor and you tell them, this and this thing happened, I'm not okay, I'm not feeling okay. Just assess yourself and say, for sure, emotionally, I'm not okay. And then after that, what is that? List. What is that you hate, or what is this that you are blaming? Who is that hurt you? List down. Take a pen and paper. Journal it out. This one hurt me. This one did this to me. This one did this to me. This one did this to me. List them down. If it's a blame them. Write all those blames that you are blaming other people about, that they are hurting you about. When you wrote those lists about other people, now write about yourself, because you cannot be 100% that it's other people who did something wrong to you, but you yourself, you're perfect. No, there is nobody who is perfect. There is that something, one mistake that you did, and it brought some emotional pain. So write it down. Yes, I did that abortion. Yes, I stole money. Yes, I did not do what I was told to do. Yes, I misunderstood someone. Yes, I did not trust them the way they trust me. List them down. List all those things that you did, and they make you feel ashamed of yourself. Then after you have done all those things that you regret doing in your life, anything that you feel embarrassed and ashamed of your life, list it down. Sometimes we are ashamed by who we are, our physical body. You feel like my nose is too big. Sometimes you feel like my teeth are not good. You feel like my head is quite big. You feel like I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not nice enough. I don't know how to speak. I'm not lovely. I don't know how to express myself. Those things that you feel about yourself. Others are ashamed of their family, where they come from. They cannot even introduce them to their friends. They don't even want to be associated with them. You feel shame about that thing. Write it down. When you write it down, then you are on your way to your emotional healing. In my next video, I'll talk about key to emotional healing, what you should do, and the journey that you take towards your emotional healing. For now, I'll just refer you to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7. It says, "Cast all your cares unto him, for he cares about you." God cares about you. He cares about your wholesome you. He cares about your welfare. He cares about how you think. He cares about your emotional health. He cares about your emotional healing. Cast all your cares. Whatever is bringing you pain, cast it to God. Tell God, so and so hurt me, I'm still paining. I'm praying for your healing. Tell him, I did this, forgive me, and help me forgive myself. He cares for you, and he will surely do that. God bless.